Imagine this, 7 journalists all in one place reporting the truth, and then boom, a single strike wipes them out. Not in some crossfire, not by mistake, but a direct hit. And the world mostly silent. Welcome to the Gaza front line, where the war on truth is just as deadly as the war on people. Let's start in a place you wouldn't expect. Italy. Not a war zone, not a battlefield, a port. A Saudi ship carrying weapons for Israel docks in Italy. The dockworkers find out what's inside and say, nope, not on our watch. They literally stop unloading. This is like airport ground staff refusing to guide a plane because they find out it's carrying bombs for a war they don't support. These dockers knew the consequences. Courts can't function without them. They brought operations to a halt, and the Italian government, they had to listen. That's not their solidarity, that's strategic resistance. And it worked. The weapons didn't move forward. Now let's talk about the strike that had the journalism world shaking. Al Jazeera had a reporting tenure of Gaza City. Not a weapons cache, not a military base, a press tent. Reporters, cameramen, journalists sleeping, working, firing stories. Israel hits it. 7 journalists killed instantly. Anas al-Sharif, Mohammed Nafail, Ibrahim, Momin Olova, and others. This isn't the first time. Over 230 journalists have been killed in this war. But 7 at once, that's a statement. That's saying, we see you telling the world what's happening, and we're going to make sure you can't. This is bigger than Israel-Palestine. This is about the idea that truth itself can be targeted and erased. In the West, people can write op-eds and argue online about bias and narratives. In Gaza, the people bringing you the images don't live to see their own stories air. At the chilling part, these journalists knew it was coming. Hours before his death, Anas al-Sharif said, the occupation is now openly threatening a full-scale invasion of Gaza. Only 2 months he reported under siege, and then they got him. While the cameras are being destroyed, let's talk about the people without cameras, civilians. 50 days of investigation by The Guardian uncovered that Israel has been firing on Palestinians while they're just trying to collect food and water. Not fighters, not militants, hungry civilians. And on oops, mistaken identity. We are talking about direct fire at battle lines and water points. Think about how desperate you had to be to risk death for food and then actually die trying. Here's where it gets insane. An Israeli spokesperson says they are losing the PR war because of social media algorithms. Yeah, not because of the videos of kids with bullet wounds, not because of the bombed out hospitals, not because of dead journalists, but because the algorithm is against us. No, the algorithm isn't against you. Reality is against you. And then there's a list. Israel's 5 conditions for Gaza. 1. Hamas must release all hostages. 2. Hamas must disarm completely. 3. The entire Hamas governance must be dismantled. 4. Israel will maintain a security buffer zone in Gaza. 5. After all that, governance will be transferred to non-Israelis. Translation: will crush your leadership, occupy your land, control your borders, and maybe let someone else manage your scraps. That's not peace, that's a permanent chokehold. Even the symbols of solidarity are unsafe. In one stadium, a mother and her kids were denied entry just because they wore t-shirts with the word Palestine on them. Now think about this. Players draped in Ukraine flags, fine. Illegal slogans for other causes, totally okay. But wear something that says Palestine and suddenly is too political. That's not neutrality, that's selective censorship. And here's the surreal part. Israeli leaders saying, our goal is not to occupy Gaza, but to free it from Hamas. That's like someone breaking into your house, locking you in the bathroom and saying, don't worry, I'm here to free you from your bad interior design choices. Nobody buys it, not Palestinians, not the international community, not even Israelis who know the playbook. If you still think this is about just Hamas, listen to this. An Israeli settler admitted on camera that the plan is to shout Palestinians so they'll turn against. That's not counterterrorism, that's collective punishment. That will make life so unbearable you blame your own. It's weaponizing hunger. And then there's a raw hate. A settler telling a Palestinian man straight up, I'll kill you, your mother, your father, your kids, all of you. That's not a military strategy. That's genocide being spoken out loud on record without fear of consequences. So here's the question. When journalists are killed, food is turned into a weapon, and stadiums ban a word on a t-shirt, what does that say about the state of this conflict? It says this isn't just a war on Gaza, it's a war on witnesses, a war on memory, a war on anyone who might tell the story differently from the official script. And history has a rule. When you silence the truth gets louder. You can bomb cameras, ban shirts, block votes, but the footage, the stories, the resistance, it's already out there and it's not going away.